Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we are on day 121. Um, I am, I have like this bubbling of laughter and joy and celebration because we are starting my most favorite book in the whole entire Bible. And for those viewers who know me personally, what book do you think that is? It is Matthew. It's Matthew. Matthew is a journey with Jesus. We are going to be walking with Jesus through his whole ministry. And the way Matthew is written is in such easy to understand speech. He does have parables and a little bit of mystery. He doesn't hand everything over to everybody on a silver platter. You got to use your brain. And oh, I'm so excited. So sorry, I will try to simmer down. Okay, okay, here we go. We're on day 121. We will be reading the book of Numbers, chapter 8 and 9, Isaiah chapter 6, Matthew chapter 1, Psalm 78, verses 5 through 16. We'll close out the day with Psalm. I'm crazy. Here we go. Starting with Numbers chapter 8. Okay. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to Aaron and tell him, when you light the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light in front of the lampstand." Aaron did so, lit its lamps to light the area in front of the lampstand as Yahweh commanded Moses. This was the workmanship of the lampstand, beaten work of gold. From its base to its flowers, it was a beaten work. He made the lampstand according to the pattern which Yahweh had shown Moses. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Take the Levites from among the children of Israel and cleanse them. You shall do this to them to cleanse them. Sprinkle the water of cleansing on them. Let them shave their whole bodies with a razor. Let them wash their clothes and cleanse themselves. Then let them take a young bull and its meal offering, fine flour mixed with oil, and another young bull you shall take for a sin offering. You shall present the Levites before the tent of meeting. You shall assemble the whole congregation of the children of Israel. You shall present the Levites before Yahweh. The children of Israel shall lay their hands on the Levites, and Aaron shall offer the Levites before Yahweh for a wave offering on behalf of the children of Israel, that it may be theirs to do the service of Yahweh. The Levites shall lay their hands on the heads of the bulls, and you shall offer the one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering to Yahweh, to make atonement for the Levites. You shall set the Levites before Aaron and before his sons, and offer them as a wave offering to Yahweh. Thus you shall separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. After that, the Levites shall go in to do the service of the tent of meeting. You shall cleanse them and offer them as a wave offering, for they are wholly given to me from among the children of Israel. Instead of all who opened the womb, even the firstborn of all the children of Israel, I have taken them to me. For all the firstborn among the children of Israel are mine, both man and animal. On the day that I struck all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for myself. I have taken the Levites instead of all the firstborn among the children of Israel. I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and to his sons from among the children of Israel to do the service of the children of Israel in the tent of meeting, and to make atonement for the children of Israel, so that there will be no plague among the children of Israel when the children of Israel come near to the sanctuary. Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did so to the Levites, according to all that Yahweh commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so the children of Israel did to them. The Levites purified themselves from sin, and they washed their clothes, and Aaron offered them for a wave offering before Yahweh, and Aaron made atonement for them to cleanse them. After that, the Levites went in to do their service in the tent of meeting before Aaron and before his sons, as Yahweh had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so they did to them. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "This is what is assigned to the Levites. From 25 years old and upward, they shall go in to wait on the service in the work of the tent of meeting, and from the age of 50 and from the age of 50 years they shall retire from doing the work, and shall serve no more, but shall assist their brothers in the tent of meeting to perform the duty, and shall perform no service. This is how you shall have the Levites do their duties." Chapter 9. Excuse me, and thank you. Yahweh spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the first month of the second year after they came out of the land of Egypt, saying, "Let the children of Israel keep the Passover in its appointed season. On the 14th day of this month at evening, you shall keep it in its appointed season. You shall keep it according to all its statutes and according to all its ordinances." Moses told the children of Israel that they should keep Passover. They kept the Passover in the first month on the 14th day of the month at evening in the wilderness of Sinai. According to all that Yahweh commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did. There were certain men who were unclean because of the dead body of a man, so that they could not keep the Passover on that day, and they came before Moses and Aaron on that day. Those men said to him, "We are unclean because of the dead body of a man. Why are we kept back, that we may not offer the offering of Yahweh in its appointed season among the children of Israel?" Moses answered them, "Wait, that I may hear that Yahweh will command concerning you." Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "So to the children of Israel, if any man of you or of your generations is unclean by reason of a dead body, or is on a journey far away, he shall still keep the Passover to Yahweh. In the second month, on the 14th day at evening, they shall keep it. They shall eat with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it until the morning, nor break a bone of it. According to all the statute of the Passover, they shall keep it. But the man who is clean and is not on a journey and fails to keep the Passover, that soul shall be cut off from his people, because he didn't offer the offering of Yahweh in its appointed season. That man shall bear his sin. If a foreigner lives among you and desires to keep the Passover to Yahweh, then he shall do so according to the statute of the Passover and according to its ordinance. You shall have one statute, both for the foreigner and for him who is born in the land. On the day that the tabernacle was raised up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, even the tent of the testimony. At evening it was over the tabernacle, as it were the appearance of fire until morning. So it was continually. The cloud covered it, and the appearance of fire by night. Whenever the cloud was taken up from over the tent, then after that the children of Israel traveled, and in the place where the cloud remained, there the children of Israel encamped. At the commandment of Yahweh the children of Israel traveled, and at the commandment of Yahweh they encamped. As long as the cloud remained on the tabernacle, they remained encamped. When the cloud stayed on the tabernacle many days, then the children of Israel kept Yahweh's command and didn't travel. Sometimes the cloud was a few days on the tabernacle, Then according to the commandment of Yahweh, they remained encamped, and according to the commandment of Yahweh, they traveled. Sometimes the cloud was from evening until morning, and when the cloud was taken up in the morning, they traveled. Or by day and by night, when the cloud was taken up, they traveled. Whether it was 2 days, or a month, or a year, that the cloud stayed on the tabernacle, remaining on it, the children of Israel remained encamped and didn't travel. But when it was taken up, they traveled. At the commandment of Yahweh they encamped, and at the commandment of Yahweh they traveled. They kept Yahweh's command at the commandment of Yahweh by Moses. I find that so relevant in current days, whether it was 2 days or a month or a year, that the cloud stayed on the tabernacle, remaining on it, the children of Israel remained encamped and didn't travel. Always God's timing. While we may never understand what is taking so long, it's always His timing. And by the way, it's always perfect. All right, Isaiah chapter 6. Here we are. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting on the throne, high and lifted up, and His train filled the temple. Above Him stood the seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. With 2 He covered His face. With 2 He covered His feet. With 2 He flew. One called to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is Yahweh of armies. The whole earth is full of His glory. The foundations of the thresholds shook at the voice of Him who called, and the house was filled with smoke. Then I said, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, Yahweh of armies. Then one of the seraphim flew to me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken from the tongs from off the altar. He touched my mouth with it and said, Behold, this has touched your lips, and your iniquity has been taken away, and your sin is forgiven. I heard the Lord's voice saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then I said, Here I am, send me. He said, Go and tell this people, You hear indeed, but don't understand. You see indeed, but don't perceive. Make the heart of this people fat. Make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their heart, and turn again and be healed. Then I said, Lord, how long? He answered, Until cities are waste without inhabitant, houses without man. The land becomes utterly waste, and Yahweh has removed men far away, and the forsaken places are many within the land. If there is a 10th left in it, that also will be that also in turn be consumed. As a terebinth, and as an oak whose stump remains when they are cut down, so the holy seed is its stump. I'm going to read that again because it is the Lord speaking, and I really did not read that very well. So, then I said, Lord, how long? And He answered, Until cities are waste without inhabitant, houses without man. The land becomes utterly waste, and Yahweh has removed men far away, and the forsaken places are many within the land. If there is a tenth left in it, that also will in turn be consumed, as a terebinth and as an oak whose stump remains when they are cut down. So the holy seed is its stump. Wow. Now, we begin the book of Matthew. Here we go, chapter 1. This does come with a bit of a genealogy, and for those who have been following the stream, no, I don't do well with that, but here we go. We are beginning chapter 1. The good news according to Matthew. The book of the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham became the father of Isaac. Isaac became the father of Jacob. Jacob became the father of Judah and his brothers. Judah became the father of Perez and Zerah by Tamar. Perez became the father of Hezron. Hezron became the father of Ram. Ram became the father of Amminadab. Amminadab became the father of Nahshon. Nahshon became the father of Salmon. Salmon became the father of Boaz by Rahab. Boaz became the father of Obed by Ruth. Obed became the father of Jesse. Jesse became the father of King David. David the king became the father of Solomon by her who had been Uriah's wife. Solomon became the father of Rehoboam. Rehoboam became the father of Abiah. Abiah became the father of Asa. Asa became the father of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat became the father of Joram. Joram became the father of Uzziah. Uzziah became the father of Jotham. Jotham became the father of Ahaz. Ahaz became the father of Hezekiah. Hezekiah became the father of Manasseh. Manasseh became the father of Amon. Amon became the father of Josiah. Josiah became the father of Jeconiah and his brothers at the time of exile to Babylon. After the exile of Babylon, Jeconiah became the father of Shealtiel. Shealtiel became the father of Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel became the father of Abiad. Abiad became the father of Eliakim. Eliakim became the father of Azor. Azor became the father of Zadok. Zadok became the father of Echem. Echem became the father of Eliud. Eliad became the father of Eleazar. Eleazar became the father of Mathan. Mathan became the father of Jacob. Jacob became the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary, from whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. From David to the exile to Babylon, 14 generations. And from the carrying away of Babylon to the Christ, 14 generations. Now, the birth of Jesus Christ was like this. After his mother Mary was engaged to Joseph before they came together, she was found pregnant by the Holy Spirit. Joseph, her husband, being a righteous man and not willing to make her a public example, intended to put her away secretly. But when he thought about these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, don't be afraid to take yourself Mary as your wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. She shall give birth to a son, and you shall name him Jesus, for it is he who shall save his people from their sins. Now all this has happened, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying, Behold, the virgin shall be with child, and shall give birth to a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which is being interpreted, God with us. Joseph arose from his sleep and did as the angel of the Lord commanded him, and took his wife to himself, and didn't know her sexually until she had given birth to her firstborn son. He named him Jesus. Oh, I would love to read on. So, okay, in all seriousness, giving that genealogy in the very first part of chapter 1 is absolutely critical to the history of who Jesus is. There is so much history documented in the Old Testament, some of which we have read. And so when we have this genealogy of Jesus and the prophets saying, this is where the Messiah is going to come from, when we have God telling Moses, this is where my kingdom is going to come from, it ties it in so that Jesus is not just a prophet. He's just not a man with beautiful words and speaking of peace and of God. It all ties in, and it is critically important that we pay attention to that genealogy that we just read and revisit it when we continue reading in the Old Testament. So I'm either going to gain viewers or I'm going to lose them because I am such a spaz right now. I have got to simmer down. Psalm chapter 78, verses 5 through 16. All right. For he established a covenant in Jacob and appointed a teaching in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know, even the children who should be born, who should rise and tell their children, that they might set their hope in God, and not forget God's deeds, but keep his commandments, and might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that didn't make their hearts loyal, whose spirit was not steadfast with God. The children of Ephraim, being armed and carrying bows, turned back in the day of battle. They didn't keep God's covenant and refused to walk in his law. They forgot his doings, his wondrous deeds that he had shown them. He did marvelous things in the sight of their fathers in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zon. He split the sea and caused them to pass through. He made the waters stand as a heap. In the daytime, he also led them with a cloud, and all night with a light of fire. He split rocks in the wilderness and gave them drink abundantly as out of the depths. He brought streams also out of the rock and caused waters to run down like rivers. Oh, you guys, this was a fun day, and I am so happy that you were here to join me. I promise you I will settle down. I have been waiting for this day since November 1st, 2022, when I started the channel, because this is when the Old Testament ties into the New Testament, and we know that Jesus is Christ. We know he is Emmanuel, God with us, to begin a new covenant and a new relationship with us, who for the most part try to follow God's wishes but continually mess it up. But he's okay with that. Oh, we're going to read on. Please come on back for tomorrow, which will be day 122. I will settle down, I promise. And I will see you then. Bye.